You've heard two versions of the same chord. The second one felt music, the first one was just a sound. The difference was the note, it wasn't the tone, it wasn't the technique, it was the rhythm. And today I'm gonna show you how exactly what that means in a way that it will change how you play the guitar forever or any other instrument. Every piece of music has a heartbeat. Musicians call it the pulse. It never stops. It never speeds up or slows down. It just keeps going, even when the music is silent. You can see sometimes it slows down in some classical music or some progressive music, but the main concept is that it just has to repeat and keep going. Feel that? That is a tap. That is a pulse. That is the foundation. Everything else in the music sits on top of it. Here's something most of people don't know. The human body naturally locks onto a pulse. Scientists call it entertainment. Your nervous system literally synchronizes to steady beats without you trying it. That is when you tap your foot automatically. That is why babies bounce when they hear music. It's biological. So basically, pulse is the heartbeat of music. Is the heartbeat. Which means if you lose the pulse when you play, your listeners feel it in their bodies, not in their heads, in their bodies. That's how important it is. That is when somebody is headbanging with the music or in a techno party and suddenly the DJ stops it and everybody's like, huh? And then they bring the beat back and everybody becomes happy. Now we organize the pulse into groups. In most music, rock, blues, pop, jazz, metal, it groups in fours. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then it starts again. Each group of 4 is called a bar or a measure. Same thing. And here when it gets interesting is between each beat there's more space. You can fit more notes in there. That space is called a subdivision. And the way that you use that space, that is what makes the groove. Now I'm gonna write a whole bar for you here. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So how we count it up is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now you have 8 points per bar instead of 4. 8 possible places to play something. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now I play some variations in the same bar. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That's down up motion with your strumming hand just did. That is your arm keeping the subdivision. Your arm is a metronome. It never stops moving, even when you don't strum a note. Remember. Now, here's the thing nobody will tell you. And it comes straight from Berklee's rhythm curriculum. Groove is not about playing on the beat. It's about knowing where the beat is and choosing where to play around it. Now imagine we have a bar, say 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. This time I'll only play on first beat and on third. That's on the beat. Technically correct, boring as hell. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Hear that? I move one note. hit the end of the second instead of the third beat. The chord arrives slightly early. That is called syncopation. And that is what makes music feel alive. Basically, syncopation is landing between the beats on purpose. Every groove you have ever loved uses this. James Brown, Jimi Hendrix. There is not always on the beat, they're dancing around it. The beat is the reference, not the prison. This is very important, guys. If you want to make it groove, always remember what I just told. I know what you think about metronome. You think it's boring, mechanical, that kills the feeling. Wrong. The metronome is a mirror. It shows you the truth about your time, and most players, including intermediate players, don't want to look. Here's how Berklee teaches it. Don't put the metronome on every beat. Put it only on beat 2 and 4. The backbeat. Now the click feels like a snare drum, not a drill sergeant. Now imagine every beat that you hear on metronome is only second beat and fourth beat, which makes the whole rhythm like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Your internal pulse just becomes twice as strong. Because you're actively feeling the beat falls, not just reacting to it. For 10 minutes a day, 1 week, your timing will change completely. This is not opinion. This is what every major music school on earth teaches as the foundation of rhythm training. Let's put it all together. I'm going to play a simple 2 chords groove, E minor and A minor. You're going to hear the pulse underneath, the subdivision, the syncopation, and the places where I land slightly off the beat on purpose. Listen carefully. I never lost a pulse, but I wasn't a robot either. Could you say that? The pulse was not the grid. What I played was the decoration. Those are two different things, and keeping them separate in your mind is what separates players who groove from players who just play notes like a robot. So things that I told you may look simple, but when you try to practice what I told you, and when you actually do it for a week, you will come back and you will thank me. Trust me, this will change your entire career as a musician. So pulse, the heartbeat that never ever stops. Bar, 4 beats grouped together. Subdivision, the space between the beat. Syncopation, landing in that space on purpose. And metronome on second and fourth. Your new practice tool. That's the rhythm, not the boring version they teach in school. The real version, the one that makes your audience groove and feel you, the one that makes people move. So on the next lesson, scales, the vocabulary of music, and I promise you, once you see that and how it connects everything we have done so far, the fretboard rhythm, all of it, it clicks in a way that no other guitar channel will show you. Stay tuned.